51.
Shuniyachi sadhumukhe. I've heard from the lips of the sadhus, all of them contend that by Sri Rupa's mercy one can attain the lotus feet of the divine couple. O Sanatan Prabhu, O personal associates of Gauranga, together all of you, please fulfill my desires. May the mercy of Sri Rupa fall upon me. Whoever takes shelter of Sri Rupa's lotus feet is a great personality. When will my master Sri Lokanath Goswami take me with him and offer me with him and offer me at Sri Rupa's lotus feet? Will such a destiny ever be mine, that though through their instructions the Narmasakis make Narottam their faithful follower? Shuniyachi sadhu mukhe bole sarva jana. 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 Shri Rupa kripaya mile Yugala charana. Shri Rupa kripaya mile Yugala charana. Aha Prabhu Sanatana Gaura Parivahara. Aha Prabhu Sanatana Gaura Parivahara. Sabe mili vancha purna Kara hoya mara. Sahani vancha purna Kara mara. Shri Rupera kripajana ama prati hoy. Shri Rupera kripajana ama prati hoy. Se padaya shraya jara se mahasha. Se abhashraya jara se mahasha. Prabhu Lokanatha kave sange loya jabe. Prabhu Lokanatha kave sange loya jabe. Shri Rupera pada padme more samarthi hai. Shri Rupera pada padme more samarthi hai. Eno ki hoibe mora Narmasaki gane. Eno ki hoibe mora Narmasaki gane. Anugata narottame koribe sasane. Manugata narottame koribe sasane. Shuniyachi sadhu mukhe bole sarva jana. Shuniyachi sadhu mukhe bole sarva jana. Shri Rupa Kripaya Mile Yugala Charan Sri Rupa Kripaya Mile Yugala Charan Jaya Rupa Goswami Jaya Rupa Raghunatha Jaya Rupa Raghunatha Rupa Raghunatha 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Głośniej Ananta, Ananta, Ananta Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Krishna Balaram Maharaj ki jai, Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Rupa Raghunatha ki jai, Shri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga ki jai, Paramaraditam Guru Pad Padma ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyavacha Dhanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Anandalilamaya Vigrahaya Mabadivicha Visundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Nityananda Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalo Kalmashanashaya Jannavapataye Namaha Ajanulambita Bhujo Kanakavadato Sankirtanaya Kapitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Jugadharma Paula Vande Jagat Priya Karo Karunavataru Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Adadranastrinam Tantaridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupam Padam Bojam Dulisyam Janma Janmani Tambularpana Padamardana Payo Dana Bisara Dibir Vrindaranya Maheshwarim Priyataya Yastoshayanti Priya Prana Prishta Sakikula Dapikila Sankochita Bhumika Keli Bhumi Shurupa Manjari Mukas Tadasika Samshraye Priya Swarupe Daita Swarupe Prema Swarupe Sahaja Virupe Nijanu Rupe Prabhu Mekarupe Tatanu Rupe Svavila Sarupe Vrindavaniyam Rasakeli Vartam Kalena Luptam Nija Shakti Mutkam Sancharya Rupe Vyatanot Punasa Prabhur Vidho Prag Ivaloka Srishtam Tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyarade tvam nayamam charanantike Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare not loud enough. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, my unlimited Dandavat pranams to lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, Nitya Prishna Om Vishnupada Astotra Sata Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Also, Shiksha Gurudeva Sam Vishnupada Stotra Sata Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj Shrimati Krishna Priyata Purani. Also, Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, the chain of disciplic succession from Sri Rupa Goswami. And dear devotees in Watford, dear devotees and friends in online, and those who are watching us in recording Dandavat Pranam. So today is our last class during this UK tour. And something finalizing must be discussed. The highest conception of our sampradaya. Sachinanda Prabhu, can you hear well?
Speak up a little louder.
Speak up. I can give you the speaker. I can give you speaker. Bring the speaker here. Otherwise, I can give in your hands. You will hear very distantly. Otherwise,
my Chinese
yes.
earphones.
I have my Chinese speaker as well. You know, so two Chinese elements will work, must work. So he will bring right now. Sorry for the delay. Turn on and give to Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Okay, so you can hear nicely, hopefully. So, okay, yeah? Right, first class.
I'm benefiting from it.
So, Srila Rupa Goswami has given the highest conception of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has given whatever had never been given before. Sri Rupa Goswami has written about that conception himself in the beginning of Vidagdha Madhava. Anarpita chirim chirat karunaiva tirna kalu samarpayatam annato chola rasam svabhakti shriyam haripurata sundara dudikadamba sandipitaha sada hridaya kandare spiratu vasachanandanaha. That which hadn't been given for ages and ages, since time immemorial, again has been given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anarpita chirim chirat karunaya avatirna. Now in the age of Kali, Kalo, this Karuna Avatirna Avatara, most merciful Avatara, filled with Karuna, mercy, has given. Anarpita Chirim Chirat Karuna Avatirna Kalo Samarpaitam Unnata Ujvala Rasam. What is Unnata Ujvala? Ujvala means shining, blindingly shining, effulgently. Unnata Ujjvala Rasam. Ujjvala Rasa means the highest mood of love. Unnata Ujjvala Rasa. Swa Bhakti Shriya. Swa means his own, Krishna's. Bhakti, devotional service. Who is performing highest bhakti, highest devotional service to Krishna? That is Srimati Radhika. So she is called Swa Bhakti, Krishna's devotion. She is Bhakti Devi. And Shri means beauty. So the beauty of her love was given by whom to this world? Is relished by whom, first of all, in spiritual world and Golok? By very, very, Srila Gurudev was saying, qualified, teenaged girls of 11, maximum 12. These are called Manjaris. Manjaris, the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. So Swabhakti Shri, they're relishing. And Sri Rupa Manjari is the head of them. She is the head of all Manjaris, all the young maidservants of Srimati Radha Thakurani. So this is the highest point. This is the pivot of what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. Srila Rupa Goswami specifically had given. Swabhakti Shriyam Unnata Ujjvala Rasa, Swabhakti Shriyam, Samarpayatam Unnata Ujjvala Rasam, Swabhakti Shriyam, Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratavasa Chinananda. Anarpita Chirim Chirat Karunaiva Tirna Kalo, Samarpayatam Unnata Ujjvala Rasam, Swabhakti Shriyam, Haripurata Sundara, Duti Kadamba Sandipita. Haripurata Sundara. Yeah. So he has come in the golden form, golden complexion. Yeah. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Akrishnam. His color is Akrishna, not Shyam Sundar, not darkish. His color is of molten gold, because he had taken Bhava and Kanti, the mood and the color of Srimati Radhika Thakurani. So he has given all the world Chara Rasa, the four rasas. But this particular one, Madhurya, has one very, very specific manifestation, that is Unnata Ujjvala Rasa, the mood of Srimati Radhika's maidservants. So that is the mood of Sri Rupa and Raghunatha. Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath, 6 Goswamis Atma Vidya you must have heard. So we're calling ourselves the path of Rupa and Raghunath. This path we're calling the path of Rupa and Raghunath. Why? Because Sri Rupa Goswami's conception is so unique, so incomparable. Nobody had given that before, Anarpita Chirin Chirat, since time immemorial. So Sri Raghunath Das Goswami is the highest Rupanuga, the highest successor of Sri, highest follower of Sri Rupa Goswami, highest follower of Sri Rupa Goswami. Yeah, he is the main Rupanuga. He is the main follower of Sri Rupa Goswami, Rupanuga, Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath, I'm talking about Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Did I say correctly? Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is the highest follower of Srila Rupa Goswami. Therefore, although he had been was performing bhajan on the banks of Radhakunda, the highest place in the 3 worlds, still we come to Srila Rupa Goswami in Vrindavan, in his samadhi, and we stay in Vrindavan. Why? Because Raghunath Das Goswami, although he is at Radhakund, he is the highest Rupanuga. In Upadeshamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, Vaikuntajjanito Varamadupuri, Vaikuntajjanito Varamadupuri, Tatrapi Rasotsava, Vrindaranya Mudara Paniramanat, Tatrapi Govardhanaha, Radha Kundamihapi Gokula Pati Premamrita Plavanat Kuryadasimur Taviritate, Vrindaranya. So Vaikuntha is the highest abode, everybody knows, because that's beyond material world. Eternal Satchidananda is there. Yeah. Vrindaranya. But Higher than Vaikuntha is what? Dwaraka, and then Mathura, because in Mathura, Krishna himself resided, Dwaraka as well. But Vrindavan is higher. Why? Because in Vrindavan, Krishna revealed Rasa Lila and many, many other pastimes. So Vrindavan has highest position. Dara Parana, Govardhana, but Govardhan takes even higher position, Giriraj Govardhan. Because highest Lila, Rasa Lila, spring Rasa Lila is happening there. Yeah. Spring Rasa Lila, Vasanta Rasa Lila is happening there. In Vasanta Rasa, only liberated gopis can enter. Only liberated gopis. Only eternally liberated gopis. All groups. But Radha Kunda is the highest place. Highest place, the transcendental eyes of the peacock of Giriraj Govardhana, Radha Kunda and Shyama Kunda. So at Radha Kunda, only Shrimati Radhika's gopis are there. Only Shrimati Radhika's gopis are there. And in the middle of Radha Kunda is Swananda Sukhada Kunj, where Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is serving eternally Kamala Manjari. So that is the highest abode. And Srila Raghunath Das Goswami's Samadhi is there. So why don't we go there, if that's the highest place? Radhakunda. We don't go there. We go sometimes, but we go to Srila Rupa Goswami first, and we're at his lotus feet. That's why in the month of Kartik, every morning, early morning, we go to Srila Rupa Goswami's lotus feet, and we perform our worship. We perform our Niyama Seva to Srila Rupa Goswami. Because Sri Raghunath Das Goswami is himself Rupanuga. So the poet Madhava Das has sung that song, Yankali Rupa Sharira Nadarat. We didn't sing it today, maybe at the end we can sing now. Yankali Rupa Sharira Nadarat Tan Vraja Prema Mahanidhi Kutarita Kon Kapata Udhadata. If had Srila Rupa Goswami not appeared in this world in the age of Kali, who would have opened the doors to the great treasure house of Raja Prema. That was tightly locked. So who has the key? Great Rasika devotee. Nirakshiraham sanapana vidhayana kona prithaka koripayata ko sabatyaji bhaji vrindavana ko sabagranta virachana. If Srila Rupa Goswami hadn't come, who could have extracted the essence of the scriptures in the same way as a swan takes them from the milk? The swan has a mystic ability to extract milk from water. Milk is in the water, and it doesn't mix with the water, so the swan can drink it. So Srila Rupa Goswami had all the world drink it as well. He drank himself, relished, and the whole world was relishing that great taste. Who could have abandoned everything to perform bhajan in Vrindavan? Who could have written such scriptures? Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is the emblem of renunciation. Srila Rupa Goswami as well in Sanatan. Brothers Rupa and Sanatana were working in the courtyard of Nawab Hussain Shah. Sanatan Goswami was a prime minister and Rupa Goswami personal advisor. But they left everything. They were having income of amazing amount of gold coins a year. One gold coin was enough to feed the whole family for a year or something. So they were like multi-billionaires. They left everything, and only in Kaupinas they were seated in Vrindavan. They were changing, sometimes here, sometimes there, Rupa and Sanatan. But Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, no, only Radhakund. Only Radhakund. They were having only Kaupinas, and sometimes in the winter season, maybe some chadar, that's it. They were taking alms in form of only chickpeas, and they were always immersed in Shishi, Radha Krishna Rasa. Specifically, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami spent his life at Radhakund, all of his life. the last part of his life, he was at Radha Kund, and he was meditating on Srimati Radhika, and he was writing his amazing book, Vilapa Kusumanjali. Jaba pitovana phula phala tanana vida mahano raji aravindo so madhukara dino pana kona janata vidyamana karibanda yankali rupa sharirana dharata. So the Rasika devotee is an expert bee. Such was Srila Rupa Goswami. He was able to collect all nectar from all the flowers. The nectar in all the flowers is not identical. Like if you go shopping, the taste of all products is not the same. Different tastes. The salty, sweet, sour, bitter, so many, pungent. And even within, let's say, dairy section or grain section, so many varieties. So in that same way, the amount of flowers in the field, or to speak of the fields of Golok Vrindavan, spiritual world. So Srila Rupa Goswami was collecting that. He was collecting that, and he was discerning, discriminating, and teaching the world about the differences and the gradation. So that's the unique position of Srila Rupa Goswami. So he's a transcendental honeybee who taught the world how to drink that nectar. What is ras? What are the ingredients of ras? What is rasabhas, incompatible ways of relationship with Krishna? So Srila Rupa Goswami was teaching. Ko janata mathura vrindavana, ko janata vrajanitam, ko janata radha madhavarati, ko janata soi pritam. Yankali Rupa Sharirana Dharata. Without Srila Rupa Goswami, who could have understood the glories between the glories of Mathura and Vrindavan, the difference between them? People say Mathura Vrindavan, but what is the difference? The vast difference, the miles of difference, not miles, just an imaginable distance between Mathura and Vrindavan. So Srila Rupa Goswami described the rasas in Mathura, rasas in Dwaraka, and in Golok Vrindavan. All 12 rasas he explained. So also the essence of a rati, of loving relationship between Radhika and Madhava, and especially the unique position of Srimati Radhika, all that was explained by Srila Rupa Goswami. Jankara charana prasade sakala jana gai gavai sukha paut charana kamale sharana gata madhu tava mahima uralagata yankali rupa sharirana dharata. So by the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami, all the souls of this world are now able to sing and inspire others to sing the glories of Sri Radha Madhav, attaining true joy. So Madhava Das is begging at the feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, please accept me, please make me yours, please make me real Rupanuga. So we want to become Rupanugas. Therefore, as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sang in that song Bhajare Bhajare Amarman, oh my stupid mind, please hear about the Jivana Charitras, about the life stories of great Vaishnavas, Rupa and Raghunath specifically, especially. So many Vaishnavas we glorify, many Vaishnavas are very significant, but the roots and the most pristine mode we're really following is the mode of Sri Rupa and Raghunath. So Srila Rupa Goswami is called a Rasacharya because he has churned the ocean of Ras, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, a great, incomparable ocean of Bhakti Rasa. Before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people knew something about Bhakti. Well, they knew about Bhakti. Something about Rasa they knew. But what is Bhakti Rasa? How it's manifested, how it's visible and how it's related to each and every heart of devotees practicing in this world. And what is the eternal feeling of great associates of Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan? That's what Srila Rupa Goswami described in his books. He described that very, very diligently so that everybody can understand. Then Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur came later and he commented on that. So Sri Rupa and Sanatana were two brothers, Sanatana older and Rupa younger, and they had another brother, Anupama. So they stayed in Ramakeli, the village. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was passing by their village and he saw them the first time. The Muslim government was very much disturbed. Oh, that fakir is coming, it's a great mystic. Surrounded by so many people. So then the brothers told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, oh, actually, it's not so good for you to walk with such an amount of people. So Mahaprabhu considered that. So then he saw the two brothers, and when they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they said, oh, we're actually lower than Jagaya and Madhaya. We're so much wicked, so much fallen, so much actually untouchable they were considering themselves, because we work for Muslim government. If you pronounce our names, you lose all the balance of your pious aribol activities. So with the straws in the teeth, they offered Dandavat pranams to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he said, your name will be Rupa and your name will be Sanatan. The names before were Sakara Malik and Dabir Khas and Sakara Malik. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave them the names Rupa and Sanatan. Before Rupa Goswami, before coming to the government, he was known as Santosh. Amar and Santosh, their names were. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, and the brothers were following the instruction he had given, the very first instruction Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave them, when they were still at home, and not at home, yes, working for Muslims, and they were anticipating meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They wrote him a message, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answered one time. He said that a chaste wife serving her husband, a wife serving her husband, but she positions as a very, very chaste lady, but actually inside her heart, she is relishing the meeting with her beloved, real beloved. So that's what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote to them. So they could understand that externally they should continue serving in the Muslim government, but actually they have to be relishing the meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which happened. Sri Rupa and Sanatan didn't meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very often. They met practically 3 times. So the first one was in Ramakeli village. Then later, Srila Sanatana Goswami was imprisoned by Nawab, because since the brothers were determined to leave government service and to join Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forever. So Nawab, Sanatana Goswami knew that Nawab was about to go and conquer Odisha. And Odisha is a great, great place with so many devotees. So we're about to, his troops were about to conquer Odisha. So Sanatana Goswami knew that Nawab was going to engage him, because Prime Minister has to participate. And Sanatana Goswami said, well, I'm unwell, I'm sick. And he invited so many brahmanas and started studying Srimad Bhagavatam in the association. So this is a great example of transcendental lives. Sometimes devotees asking, can we lie? Yes, Sanatana Goswami lied, why not? Yes, he lied not only one time. So I'm sick. Then for the highest purpose. Why not lying, cheating? Gopis were cheating the husbands. Gopis were cheating the in-laws, etc. But as a result, all the world is worshipping them. Nobody says, "Oh, they are cheaters." And who's the highest cheater? Krishna. Remember Mahabharata and so many other cases. So, highest thief, etc., etc. So Sri Chaitanya, Sri Sanatana Goswami was there with Brahmanas, and Sanatana Goswami sent his best doctor to check the condition of Sri Sanatana Goswami. And the doctor said that, oh, Sanatana is fully well. And then Nawab came himself personally. What do you mean? Why are you saying you're ill? I know you're well. You're studying something with Brahmanas, but you have to be serving in the government, because I want to engage you in a military campaign for Orissa. So please join me. Sanatana Goswami said, "Dear Nawab, I'm very sorry I cannot accompany you, because I know you will be destroying temples, you will be killing devotees and Brahmanas, you will be causing so much pain to the heart of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so I cannot really accompany you." So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Sanatana Goswami then was imprisoned. He said to the custodian, and the custodian was there. And Sanatana Goswami told him, "Oh, remember when I was Prime Minister, I helped you? Yes? Can you help me now? Can you tell the ruler that I drowned because I went to empty my stomach, and those chains were around me, and those chains dragged me to the bottom of the river, and I drowned." Okay, so here, have this. And he gave amazing amount of gold coins, several thousand, I think, gold coins. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Sanatana Goswami went, crossed the river, and he went with a servant to Varanasi. In Varanasi he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Srila Rupa Goswami had freed before. He had divided all of his riches into 4 parts. Half of everything, it's 3 parts actually. Half he gave to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas at once. Half he gave to the family members. He loaded the whole boat with those riches. And the first quarter he had invested into a bachelor, grocery store, just anyway, for some case of emergency. So case of emergency came, Srila Sanatana Goswami was there, imprisoned, so he engaged that money, so that money actually belonged to Sri Rupa Goswami. So our Goswamis were very, very, very practical. Srila Rupa Goswami, especially, Sri Sanatana, all of them, Rghunatha, Dasa. So Srila Sanatana Goswami met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi, and Sri Rupa Goswami met him in Prayag. Together with Anupam, he went there, and he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met him there, and he was telling him Rupa Shiksha, or great instructions meant for Srila Rupa Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that Srila Rupa Goswami would engage later in disseminating this knowledge. So that knowledge was given to Srila Rupa Goswami's heart during 10 days. During 10 days in Prayag, at Dasashvamedha Ghat, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving transcendental knowledge to Srila Rupa Goswami. Mahaprabhu said, "Listen, O Rupa, the ocean of transcendental rasa is so vast, it's not possible to describe. That's why I will take only 1 drop and explain it to you." So Srila Rupa Goswami took just one drop of Raja Rasa and described that to Srila Rupa Goswami completely. So he just invested, he put all that ocean of Raja Rasa into the heart of Srila Rupa Goswami. And Srila Rupa Goswami was therefore, as we heard, like a bumblebee. He was able to see all the specific features of all the rasas. He was able to disseminate that nectar throughout all the world. So Mahaprabhu told him about the position of the living entity. Jivara Swarupa Hoy Krishnir Nityadas Jivara Tatasta Shakti Beda Bet Prakash. So the Jiva, the living entity, is a transcendental servant of Krishna. And the Jiva's destination is to find the place at the lotus feet of Krishna. So in order to do that, the Jiva has to become a gardener, Mali. Because when the transcendental gardener, the initial transcendental gardener, Sri Guru, inserts into the heart of the Jiva the seed of devotional service, or rather activates that, because it's already present, the potential is present, but the transcendental gardener, Mali, engages the Jiva in growing of the devotional plant, Bhakti Lata. Because without Sri Guru is quite impossible. You cannot grow by yourself, you need water. And water is what? Harikatha. That's why, as Srila Rupa Goswami described in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the first step in devotional realization is what? Sri Guru Padashraya. Sri Guru Padashraya means to accept the shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Przyjąć schronienia w lotosowych stopach Sri Guru. Prawdziwego mistrza duchowego. Okay, translation into Polish. So, Srila Rupa Goswami taught that, Sri Guru Padashraya. First, you achieve the mercy of Sri Guru. You take shelter of Sri Guru. That can be done without initiation, formal initiation. The first moment you see Sri Guru, you understand, that's my spiritual master. You hear Harikatha, your heart is pierced, you cannot escape. You're taught, you're caught and taught. Right? Caught and taught. Right. So, Sri Guru gives the transcendental knowledge of relationship, Sambandha Jnana. So Srila Rupa Goswami described all those things. Thus, the devotional kripa, bhakti lata, starts growing. One moment comes when it grows up to the borders of material world, and it pierces the border of the spiritual world, crosses river Viraja, and enters the reality of spiritual world. Thus, devotional kripa becomes a very powerful tree, and its branches reach the particular destination that tree has to come to. Yes, Srila Rupa Goswami described that. He said in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sasadana bida nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatya kriti sadhyata. So that is called sadhana bhakti, or prescribed devotional service. What is prescribed devotional service? It's that process by which you come to the goal. Sadhya, sadhyata, sadhya. So sadhana and sadhya. Sadhana and sadhya. There is one anartha. Anartha means blunder, incorrect understanding. But we have to chant, be happy, distribute books, then go to spiritual world and distribute books there. I heard such, it's like half joking. But no, this is just like external activity, the mechanism for accumulating sukritis. In order to achieve what? Meeting with the author of the books you're distributing. But if the author is gone to spiritual world, what to do? Shiksha Guru is needed. So all those things Srila Rupa Goswami described. Who is Diksha Guru? Who is Shiksha Guru? What is Diksha? What is Shiksha? So then, after taking shelter of spiritual master, you have to receive Diksha and Shiksha. And then ask appropriate questions. and then follow the path of Mahajan. So the 4 first limbs of devotional service, 64, 4 out of 64, are dealing with spiritual master, Sri Guru. So Sri Rupa Goswami described all those things. How it's absolutely impossible to achieve prema without Guru. Some people are trying. Also, you have to make sure that that Guru you're following is either himself Rasika Vaishnava or under the guidance of Rasika Vaishnavas. Means those devotees who are immersed in the ocean of rasa. It's very, very important. Otherwise, your practice will be not efficient. It will be quite dry, and you will be feeling unsatisfied. So, Srila Rupa Goswami described all that. So finally, the jiva finds shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, and that is first Svarupa Siddhi. Svarupa Siddhi means realization of spiritual form, spiritual identity, and then finally Vastu Siddhi, or entering the eternal pastimes of Goloka Vrindavan, according to your rasa. This term Svarupa Anubandhi, it's also described in scriptures. Srila Jiva Goswami's Srila Rupa Goswami's only disciple, Srila Jiva Goswami, described that in his Sandarbhas. There's a term called Svarupa Anubandhi, means there's a destination each Svarupa has. And that verse, Kriti Sadhya Bhavet Sadhya, I just quoted, Sasadna Vida Nitya Siddhasya Bhavasya Prakatya Kriti Sadhyata, also proves that there is our position which is predestined, it's fixed already. So Srila Rupa Goswami described in that verse, Kriti Sadhya Bhavet Sadhya Bhava Sasadana Vida. So sadhana bhakti should have sadhya bhava. Sadhana bhakti should have the mood of achievement of sadhya, or goal, specific goal. Sadhana should be directed towards the achievement of the supreme goal. Musi być wykierowana do osiągnięcia najwyższego celu. So, some Polish sometimes. So, that is why we are trying to fix our goal under the shelter of Srila Rupa Goswami. When Babaji Maharaj was telling Vijay and Rghunatha in Javadharma so much Harikatha, finally he asked them, how do you feel? Do you feel more attraction towards Sakya Bhava, or the mode of friendship with Krishna, or you feel more attraction towards the mode of Madhurya Bhava, the sweet relationship in the form of beloved's relationship to the lover? What do you feel? So Rghunatha said, I feel more attraction towards Sakya, friendly relationship, and Vijay said, I feel more attraction towards loving relationship in the form of beloved. So that's why they were, according to that, they were receiving instructions. So some instructions were general. Very diligently, Babaji Maharaj described Sakya Bhava, or friendly relationship, and then told Rghunatha, the next portion is not for you. So that was only for Vijay. And he was describing the intricacies of Madhurya Bhava to Vijay only. So that is the Bhava, and Srila Rupa Goswami was also telling about that Bhava. So then, after describing Bhakti Rasa very briefly to Srila Rupa Goswami, only 10 days and only one chapter in Chaitanya Charitamrita, then Mahaprabhu departed by boat, and Srila Rupa Goswami collapsed unconscious at the end. Later, Srila Rupa Goswami came to from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri again to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When pilgrims were coming from Vrindavan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been staying in Jagannath Puri for 18 years, minus 6 years traveling in South India. So I think total 24. It's 18 years. So Out of them, 6 he was actively associating with devotees and participating in Rath Yatra. And the last 12 years he was only in Gambira, only in the secluded chamber. Gambira means remote and also deep. There's another meaning, sacred. So he was in that Gambira room. And Srila Rupa Goswami was not physically next to him. Next to him were Swarupa Damodara, Raya Ramananda, Swarupa Damodara Lalita incarnation, and Raya Ramananda Vishaka. But not Srila Rupa Goswami. Why? He had met Sri Chaitanya Prabhu only 3 times. You see? But those were very, very special meetings during which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave all of his mercy. All of his mercy. So that's another proof that Vani is more important than Vapu, you remember. Vani means following instructions, and Vapu means physical association. Doesn't mean that Swarup Damodara and Raya Ramananda were not as advanced, they were very advanced. Swarup Damodara was the immediate teacher of, like, Shiksha Guru for Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. That's why he was known as Swarupera Raghu. But in terms of significance in disseminating Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Rupa Goswami is just unprecedented. Even Raghunath Das Goswami, under him, in all respects, we'll see. In the second half, we'll see so many confidential things. I'm just so far speaking about like general things. Then we'll go a bit deeper and discuss some confidential things. So, because these teachings are extremely confidential, actually. So, so later Srila Rupa Goswami went to Jagannath Puri, but every time pilgrims were coming from Vrindavan to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very eager to hear, how are my Rupa and Sanatana? How are they doing there? So the pilgrims were saying, the 2 brothers, Rupa and Sanatana. Rupa was Chota Baba, small Baba, and Sanatana was Bada Baba, big Baba. They don't have constant place of residence. They sleep under trees every new night, under a new tree. Why? Because under every new tree, very wonderful, new, ever fresh pastimes and divine couple are going on. So that's why they were very attracted to those pastimes. Sometimes they were going here, going there. Srila Rupa Goswami was staying in, he is a Terra Kadamba. Yes, so I'll just press a pause at this moment and I'll tell you Terra Kadamba Lila. So Terra means to call. Kadamba tree, Krishna was climbing on that Kadamba tree and he was calling his cows and also calling his gopis for Rasa Lila. Sometimes in the daytime, in the morning, Dhavali, Shyamali, it's at Kalindi, like this. And at night, he was calling for his beloved gopis. Rasa Lila was happening there also. So Sri Rupa and Sanatana were meeting there. Rupa Goswami was at Terra Kadamba, and Sanatana Goswami's bhajan kutir was next to Nanda Gaon at Pavana Sarovara. His bhajan's place was there. So Sanatana was coming to meet Rupa. And they were sitting and they were discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, starting from the first 111, that verse, Janmadhyasya time. Very, very deep meanings. So they were forgetting about everything, whether there is day or night, whether they're hungry or not, they were forgetting. External consciousness was completely off. So then, but Radhika knows. Nobody should starve in Vraj. Everybody gets some prasad. That's why Brijbasis in general, they love to feed sadhus so much. And then one village girl came and brought some rice, she brought some milk and some sugar. And she said to Rupa and Sanatana, oh Baba, I brought you some bhog, some products for cooking. Please cook sweet rice. Please cook kheer. Yeah? Oh, okay, thank you. Put here. And they forgot and continued discussion. So then the girl saw the 2 babas are completely busy. They're not interested in any cooking or anything. So, Baba, okay, I will cook myself. So she started cooking, and in order to get fire, she just blew on her hands, and the dry leaves started burning. So there was some pot there, and she cooked sweet rice and left. Okay, Baba, you will take after. You will take. Okay, she left. Thank you, thank you. So they were immersed in discussing of Harikatha, Srimad Bhagavatam. It's boundless. You cannot really stop. You forget about everything. So then it started getting dark, and Rupa Goswami became mindful because that was his kutir, so he wanted to serve his elder brother nicely. Uh, Sanatan, it's quite late already, but by the way, there is some nice prasad. There is some nice prasad. I would like to treat you with this prasad. So they took 2 donas, 2 leaf plates, and started relishing that prasad. And as soon as they touched that prasad with their lips, after the first touch, complete intoxication came. They became totally immersed in prema. They could not help. They started dancing with raised hands and singing Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe. So they started to dance, and after that, Sanatan. Sanatan was so much astute person. He was always able to give very, very wise advice, pieces of advice to his brother. That was Sanatan Goswami, actually. When Sri Raghunath Das Goswami later came to Vrindavan, we'll discuss that. He wanted to jump off Giriraj Govardhan because of separation. Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar, Gadadhar Pandit. But Sanatana Goswami stopped him. So he saved Raghunath Das Goswami. But then Rupa Goswami was wondering where that kheer came from. He started thinking. Then Sanatana Goswami said, listen, Rupa, we've made a big mistake. We've engaged our Swamini in our seva, in our service. Our Swamini, our mistress, should take our service, not that we have to take her service. So we didn't notice that little girl was actually Radhika. And she cooked herself. And she left that sweet rice for Rupa and Sanatan. So that was the lila. They were meeting. So when the pilgrims were coming from Jagannath Puri, to Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan, they were saying that the 2 brothers, Rupa and Sanatan, have no constant place of residence. They're sometimes under this tree and that tree, sometimes they're in Terakadamba, sometimes they're in Vrindavan. So, and they're always chanting the holy names. And always, they sleep maybe 1.5, 2 hours maximum. And they wear only kopins and torn quilts in the winter. And they beg for some chickpeas door to door. And they get some chach, the sour milk from the residents of Vrindavan. So thus they pass their lives. And they're always chanting the holy names. And they're writing books. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave 4 types of mission to the 6 Goswamis. 4 types of mission to the 6 Goswamis. What are they? The first one, Shri Vigraha Prakash. Vigraha Prakash means installation of the deities. Yes. Then Lupta Tirtha Parayana, discovering the forgotten pastime places of Radha and Krishna. Then Bhakti Grantha, writing books on the Bhakti Siddhanta, philosophy of Krishna consciousness. And then finally, Vaishnava Sadachar Stapanam, the establishment of Vaishnava Sadachar, the etiquette of Vaishnavas. So Srila Rupa Goswami was very morose while sitting in Vrindavan because he couldn't find the deity of Govinda. because his task was to find the deity of Govinda. Those old deities of Vrindavan were established by Bhajaranabh, Krishna's great-grandson. So Govinda was somewhere there, but Srila Rupa Goswami didn't know. And he was sitting by Parikrama Marg, by Parikrama road in Vrindavan, and he was crying very bitterly. And finally, a dark-complexioned boy was passing down the Parikrama Marg. He was passing, and then he saw Rupa Goswami crying. And, "Oh, Baba, why are you crying?" "Oh, if you only knew. I cannot find the deity of Govinda. That is the object of my reason for my grief. Oh, come with me. I think I know where he is." And the boy took Srila Rupa Goswami to a hillock called Gomatila. And he said, "Listen, in that particular place, every midday, a cow comes to that place, and the milk automatically is oozing from her udder. And she, how to say, not waters, but milks that particular place with her milk. I think the deity is inside the ground." So the boy was so mesmerizing, so amazing, darkish complexion. Srila Rupa Goswami couldn't understand, but we devotees, I think we have understood who that was. So Govinda himself actually came to show Sri Rupa Goswami his whereabouts. So Rupa Goswami gave spades to the local residents. They started digging. Finally, they saw the crown, they saw a wonderful head, they saw beautiful face and the smile, everything. So that was Govinda. That same Govinda being worshipped now in Jaipur because of the atrocities of Aurangzeb, emperor. The deities had been transferred to Jaipur, but before that, Srila Rupa Goswami had the building of the temple started. It was an enormous building. It was built for maybe 70 years, or 50, something like 1590. I think it was finished 1590. So the first pujari was Kashishwar Prabhu, the associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Srila Rupa Goswami was very, very happy. But then he went to Jagannath Puri. So when he came to Jagannath Puri, then Sri Chaitanya Prabhu was very, very happy to see him. And he was staying with Haridas Thakur in his hut. Remember, Haridas Thakur was staying, if you watched our seminar from Crawley down, he was staying in Siddha Bakul, in a transcendental place. Mahaprabhu had planted the Bakul tree with his own hands, and that Bakul tree grew immediately. That was a desire tree, so it was giving nice shade to Haridas also. So Haridas was looking at the chakra, at the wheel on the dome of Haridas, of Jagannath temple. Thus he was receiving darshan. So in the same way as Haridas couldn't go to the temple of Jagannath because he was Muslim origin, so Rupa and Sanatana also, they were serving Muslims, so they were considered like outcasts, so were not able to serve there. So Srila Rupa Goswami was coming to, he was living actually with Sri Haridas Thakur. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before visiting the temple of Jagannath, he was visiting Haridas Thakur's Siddha Bakul, Bhajan Kutir. And he saw Srila Rupa Goswami there. So once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to see Srila Rupa Goswami, but Rupa Goswami wasn't there. He was taking bath at the sea, at the ocean at that time. And Srila Rupa Goswami mysteriously raised his hand and was looking for something on the thatched roof. Then all of a sudden he took a leaf, palm leaf. So on that palm leaf he found a shlok, the text Aribo, written by Srila Rupa Goswami. That verse was so amazing, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu couldn't believe his eyes. Srila Rupa Goswami could have written that. When Rath Yatra was going on, when Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in front of the deity of Jagannath, he was in the mood of Srimati Radhika. He was in the mood of separation of Srimati Radhika, Viyogini Radha. Sometimes he was in the mood of Srimati Radhika, experienced by Rai Ramananda and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Godavari. That is Samyogini, meeting with Krishna, again after long separation. So at that moment, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all of a sudden quoted one verse from mundane poetry, Sahitya Darshana, that was a very famous compilation of verses, where the poet writes, like a lady remembers meeting with her beloved, who is now her husband. The verse goes, Ya Komara Harasa Eva Hivarasta Eva Chaitrakshapas Te Chanmilitamalati Surabaya Prodha Kadam Bhanila Sachai Vasmitatapi Tatra Surata Vyapara Lila Vidho Reva Rodasivita Sita Rutale Cheta Samunkantate. That very personality who stole my heart at the time of my youth is now again in front of me. He is again my master. I can see him again. There are the same moonlit nights in the mouth of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the river, under the lettuce tree. That is my desire. So that is Krishna himself dancing Jagannath in the mood of Radhika, observing Jagannath stationary, the chariot, and Krishna, through the eyes of Radhika, is seeing himself in Dwarka and repenting. That is the same beloved, but my mood is completely different. I cannot feel the same happiness as I was feeling when I was relishing those moonlit nights in the months of Chaitra. Chaitra is like spring months, like April, beginning of May. So I want to be back at the bank of Yamuna in Vrindavan. It means in Vrindavan, actually. So all devotees, most of devotees, could not understand why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted that verse. They could not understand. Why was that verse recited? Only 2 persons understood. Ramananda also maybe 3. But anyway, Swarup Damodar understood, and Srila Rupa Goswami understood. Srila Rupa Goswami also understood. So Srila Rupa Goswami silently wrote a verse, Ananta. Silently wrote one verse, Priyasoyam Krishna Sahachari Kurukshetra Militas Tatham Ham Saradha Tadimam Udayo Sangama Sukham Tattapyanta Kyalan Madura Murali Panchamayushe Manome Kalindi Pulina Vipinaya Spirihayati. My dear friend, Radhika is saying to her girlfriend, my dear friend, now I met my very old and dear friend Krishna on this field of Kurukshetra. I am the same Radharani, and now we're meeting together. It is very pleasant, but I would still like to go to the bank of Yamuna, beneath the trees of the forest there. I wish to hear the vibration of his sweet flute playing the 5th note within that forest of Vrindavan. Krishna is playing on the 5th note, but gopis are playing on the 7th. They're playing higher. Anyway, gopis are so eager to hear Krishna's flute play. They would give everything for that flute play. When they were in separation from Krishna on the banks of Yamuna, they were singing Gopi Gita, and they were remembering Krishna's flute play. And when Krishna goes out in the pasturing grounds, gopis are staying in their homes. They are relishing the flute play of Krishna, and they are glorifying the sound of Krishna's flute again and again and again. That's Venu Gita, Gopi Gita. So Mahaprabhu was relishing that, and Srila Rupa Goswami could understand. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found that verse, and then Srila Rupa Goswami returned, having finished bathing in the sea, saying, the Lord, Srila Rupa Goswami, fell flat in the courtyard to offer obeisances. The Lord stepped him mildly in love and spoke, O Rupa, my heart is so confidential. how did you know my mind in this way? Sri Rupa Goswami could understand. Mahaprabhu had read his verse. So Mahaprabhu said that and spontaneously embraced Srila Rupa Goswami like this. And then Mahaprabhu took that verse and showed to Swarup Damodara Goswami to examine. Then he questioned, how could Rupa Goswami understand the mood of my heart? No one could otherwise understand this meaning. I can therefore guess. Swarup Damodara said, no, nobody could understand. No ordinary person could understand. But I guess that you had given him a very, very special blessing. Your causeless mercy you bestowed. So Srila Rupa Goswami was so qualified, but anyway, without a very, very, very special mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he couldn't have understood the meaning of that verse. So Srila Rupa Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very, very happy. And Mahaprabhu said, Rupa Goswami met me at Prayag. And knowing him to be a suitable person, I naturally bestowed my mercy upon him. I thereupon also bestowed upon him my transcendental potency. Now you also should give him instructions, in particular, instruct him in transcendental mellows. Means rasa. So Swarup Damodar Goswami was giving so much Harikatha to Srila Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami also. So he was great, great devotee, and he knew the internal meaning of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descent. He knew his transcendental personality. He's the author of many shlokas. Some of them are very well known. Anyway, he had written Kadachas, the diary in Gambhira, as he was able to go there to Gambhira. He was writing as a diary, some elements of the diary were in form of verses. So then he was teaching those verses, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. And then Sri Raghunath Das Goswami retold them as Krishnadas Kaviraj. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami had never met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But by the mercy of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, by Swarup Damodar, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was able to receive that mercy. So in our parampara, we see through ears. One time, Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivinoda Narayan Goswami Maharaj had one argument, like loving, quarrel argument with senior devotees, as disciples of Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Gurudev was saying, Srila Prabhupada's vichar, means consideration on that subject, is such and such. And they were saying the opposite. And finally they were a bit angry and they said, how can you say? You've never seen Prabhupada. So, yes, I haven't seen, but I heard and I saw by hearing. Lord Brahma says, while praying for spiritual strength, he's saying, begging from Lord Krishna, he's saying Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrit saroja sishritakshita patona nanata pumsam tad yota rugami vigvava yanti tad tadvapu pranayase sadanugrahaya. So you come into the heart and you take place there, but you come through the path of hearing. Shritakshita pato means path. You come through Shrutakshit, through the path of hearing, and you sit in the heart, and you dwell there. So, as you come in the heart, and as you sit and as you dwell, those devotees who envision their transcendental prayojana, the transcendental goal, in a certain transcendental body, they receive that. Yet dhiyo Urugaya vibhavayanti tat vapu. So according to your dhiyo, according to your meditation, they receive transcendental vapu, means body. according to your meditation. So thus, Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami was he was so much impressed by Srila Rupa Goswami. I said, well, only by your mercy. And Mahaprabhu confirmed that. By seeing a result, one can understand the cause of a result. The river Ganges, flowing in the heavenly planets, is full of golden lotus flowers. That's one quotation. So after 4 months at Chaturmasya, Vaishnavas returned home, but Srila Rupa Goswami remained in Puri, under the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So most devotees had left, and in that close association, there's sometimes great advantage when the number of devotees is smaller. So in that close association, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received, Srila Rupa Goswami received very special instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Specifically, Mahaprabhu wanted all devotees to bestow their mercy for Srila Rupa Goswami. But when Srila Rupa Goswami was coming to Puri on the way, he was bringing his manuscript. He was writing a book, transcendental book about Krishna's pastimes. And he was coming through a village called Satyabhamapur. That was the village of Satyabhama, dedicated to the wife of Krishna, Satyabhama. And Satyabhama is incarnation of Srimati Radhika directly. And Rukmini is the incarnation of Chandravali. So, and then Rupa Goswami fell asleep at night. And at night, a wonderful damsel, beautiful damsel, woke him up. Hey Rup, she said. That was Satyabhama. And she said, hey Rup, don't take away Radhika from Vrindavan. You write, don't take away also Krishna from Vrindavan. So you write about Dwaraka pastimes in a separate book. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Rupa Goswami later divided the book into 2 halves, and one was dedicated to Dwaraka pastimes, and Lalita Madhava, and Vidagdha Madhava was dedicated to Vrindavan pastimes. Very wonderful Vrindavan pastimes. So Srila Rupa Goswami was sitting and writing Vidagdha Madhava, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was interested. Oh, what book are you writing? So he held the palm leaf and he saw the handwriting. His mind was very pleased. He said, oh, the handwriting of Rupa Goswami is just like rows of pearls. He was so pleased. Then he read the manuscript and saw a verse on that page. As soon as he read, he was overwhelmed by ecstatic love. That was at the very beginning of Vidagdha Madhava. That was the glorification of the holy name. Tunde tandaviniratim vitunate tundavale labdaye karna kroda kadambini gatete garnargude bespriha cheta prangana sangini vijayate sarvendriyanam kritim no jane janataki adviramritai Krishna divarnadvai. I don't know how much nectar is there in the 2 syllables, Krishna. When I hear this holy name, these 2 syllables, then I want to have thousands of tongues. I want to have thousands of ears, and all of my existence becomes stunned. I really don't know how much nectar there is in the 2 syllables. Krishna. So Haridas Thakur heard that verse, he started dancing, rolling like this, spinning. Krishna, Krishna! I've never heard such a glorification of Krishna's name. That originally evolved from the lotus mouth of Srimati Radhika. Because Srila Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. Always serving Srimati Radhika. She's the head of all the Manjaris of Braj. And Raghunath Das Goswami created a verse, Pranam of Sri Rupa Manjari. Tambularpana pada mardana payo, dana bisara dibir, Vrindaranya Maheshwarim Priyataya Yastoshayanti Priya Prana Preshta Saki Kula Dapikila Sankochita Bhumika Keli Bhumi Shurupa Manjari Mukhas Tadasika Samshraye. The young maidservants of Shrimati Radhika, headed by Sri Rupa Manjari, who is most qualified, able to enter most sacred, confidential pastimes of the divine couple. Even Lalita Vishaka are not able to enter there. They are bringing tambula, betel nuts, for the divine couple. Tambularpana, Padamarjana, they are bringing food bathing water. Tambularpana, Padamarjana, Payodana, Bisara, they are organizing the transcendental meetings in the kunjas of Vrindavan, So they're also able to enter the most sacred, most kunjas, where even Lalita and Vishaka cannot enter, because they're just very, very teenaged, 11, 12, no more than that. So they're not willing to meet Krishna, although Krishna sometimes eager to meet them, but they're always hiding behind Srimati Radhika. The Stai Baba, możesz jego zabić, proszę, dziękuję. Okay, so the Stai Baba is directed totally to Srimati Radhika's lotus feet. That is first. And Lalita and Vishaka meditating on both Radha and Krishna's lotus feet, but the Manjaris of Srimati Radhika have the Stai Baba directed solely to Srimati Radhika's lotus feet. So then next day, Shri Mahaprabhu made all of his confidential associates, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Ramananda Raya, Swarup Damadara, Haridas Thakuranathas, and told them, please bestow your mercy upon Srila Rupa Goswami. And Ramananda Raya started asking questions about Vidagdha Madhava. He was asking questions about deep meanings of that wonderful piece of literature, about all the intricacies of divine love. And sometimes Srila Rupa Goswami was very shy to quote the verses, and then Mahaprabhu was quoting them himself. So Anarpita Charimchira, that verse also was quoted. So all the devotees were bestowing the mercy upon Srila Rupa Goswami. So much mercy he was carrying. And Srila Raghunath Das Goswami also went to Jagannath Puri. And he was always at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu while he was on the planet. By that time, Srila Rupa Goswami had sent Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had sent Rupa and Sanatana to Vrindavan. So they were already in Vrindavan, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami was in Jagannath Puri. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami was a son of very, very rich parents, extremely rich. They were zamindars, majumdars, Govardhana Hiranya, his father and uncle. So they were as rich as Kuvera. And they had arranged for a beautiful wife for him, who was as beautiful as Miss Universe, Gurudev was saying. But Sri Raghunath Das Goswami was never paying attention, or he was immersed in internal consciousness. So he was trying to escape so many times, but the guards were always catching him. About 10 brahmanas were guarding him, but he was trying to escape quite unsuccessfully. So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami then went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, asking permission from his parents. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just took sannyas and went to the house of Sri Advaita Acharya in Shantipur. Then so many devotees came, so many, literally millions of devotees, amazing amount of devotees came to see Mahaprabhu, because they knew after sannyas he would go, he would not stay. But only Vishnupriya didn't come, the former wife. So Raghunath Das Goswami asked permission and he went. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him instructions. He said, don't be a madman. Go home. Serve your parents. But inside your mind, always meditate on Shri Radha and Krishna. So, therefore, Raghunath Das Goswami went home and he was acting as a pounds and shillings man. Nice British. It's pounds and shillings man. As a diligent son, a devoted son of his parents. But inside, you're learning. Inside, he was serving Shri Radha and Krishna. He was not thinking to chant or not to chant. There was no question. He was always chanting Shri Radha Krishna, Radha and Krishna's names. But external, he was doing all the necessary activities. So that's our example for us. So Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given Sri Raghunath Das Goswami many different instructions at different stages of his life. So that was number one instruction. And then, after some time, After some time, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami learned that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu had come to Panihati. Panihati is a place by the Ganga. Nityananda Prabhu was there, so he asked permission from his parents and he went there. And there, when he saw Nityananda Prabhu surrounded by his loving associates, 12 Gopalas were there, like Abhiram Thakur and others, so many. So then Raghunath Das Goswami offered pranam at the distance. And then some servant said, oh, that is Raghunath offering obeisances to you. And then Nityananda Prabhu loudly said, you're a thief! You're hiding from me. Come, come, I have now caught you. So he dragged Sri Raghunath Das Goswami and put his lotus feet on his head, like this. So immediately Nityananda is Guru, Guru catches us. Hey, you, come here. You will be my property now. Or I'll give you to Krishna, like this. My property means Krishna's property. So now arrange for a feast. Sri Nityananda Prabhu told Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, you arrange for a feast. You have two preparations made of flat rice. Flat rice, one mixed with yogurt, one mixed with condensed milk, and some special sort of banana. So Raghunath Das Goswami did that. He engaged some finances from his father and uncle, and he arranged for the brahmanas to bring so much bhog. So many brahmanas knew that celebration will be going on, so they brought so many preparations. They were cooking. And then Raghava Pandit came with his famous bags, with Damayanti. They were carrying bags of prasad, so they brought so much bhog and they also contributed in that cooking. So finally, so many devotees were seated with two bowls. Each was having two bowls. And then Nityananda Prabhu, from his meditation, called Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in four places, always present in four places. Wherever Nityananda Prabhu is dancing, one. So therefore you always see appeared immediately. Then the house of Jagannath Mishra, Shachimata's house. Jagannath Mishra left, so Shachimata's house. Then the house of Srivas Thakur. There Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always dances. And the house of Raghava Pandit. There Sri Chaitanya Prabhu is always present. So many preparations had been cooked and all devotees were sitting and preparations were ready. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to that place, then Nityananda took him and took some morsel of food and started feeding Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And those devotees who were not so advanced, they couldn't understand what was going on. Some invisible personality Mahaprabhu is talking to, smiling, feeding someone, they couldn't follow. But those devotees on an advanced level, they could see Mahaprabhu and they could witness the transcendental process of taking prasad by the two lords. So finally they took prasad from all devotees' plates, and therefore prasadam from the plates of all the devotees had become Maha. So all the devotees were taking that prasadam, and then after Sri Raghunath Das Goswami received very, very special blessings by Lord Nityananda. And he said, "Oh, you wanted to go to your Lord Mahaprabhu without me. You received my mercy now, so you can go." And then Raghunath Das Goswami very, very humbly worshipped the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. Then he gave a very good donation to Sri Nityananda Prabhu from his parents and uncle, like this. So then the time came for Srila Raghunath Das Goswami to join Mahaprabhu's pastimes in Puri. So Nityananda Prabhu actually blessed him. He said, "Oh, go home, and when the time comes, naturally you will leave your home. So don't worry about it. It's already, as you say in UK, sorted. It's already been sorted." So that's why Raghunath Das Goswami was still eager to go, but still the gods were guarding him. And then one time, his Gurudev, Yadunandana Acharya, his immediate Guru. Actually, Rup Sanatan, his Guru, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the first Guru is Yadunandana Acharya. So Yadunanda Acharya summoned Raghunath Das Goswami for help. One pujari, there was some trouble, and deity worship had to be supported. So Yadunanda Acharya, late in the evening, took Raghunath Das Goswami to that temple where that pujari needed help. And at a certain moment, Raghunath Das Goswami told his teacher, "Oh, actually, there's no need for me to go. I'll do it myself. There's no need for you to go. I'll do everything myself," like this. So Yadunanda Acharya believed and said, "All right, so you do everything." So then Raghunath Das Goswami said, "That's the golden opportunity." He said, "That's the golden opportunity," and he fled. He fled, escaping main roads. He was escaping big roads. He took very, very unknown forest roads, and he was running, I think for 12 days he was running, not even stopping. He stopped 3 times, day and night. Imagine the drive of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mercy, the great, great desire to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So once he spent some hours, of the night in the house of a milkman, took some milk, some chickpeas, something he took, then he continued, and all of his feet were very sore, some bruises, some cuts like this. Finally, he was very exhausted, but he found Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately entrusted him to the care of Sri Swarupa Damodara Goswami. So Sri Raghunath Das Goswami became known as Swarupera Raghu, the property of Sri Swarupa Damodara Goswami, and under him he was performing his bhajan. What is most important in our life? That is bhajan. Bhajan must be performed in anugatya. Because Krishna, Shri Radha Krishna, Mahaprabhu, will first ask, "Who do you belong to? Under whom are you?" So if you come to a temple like Gaudiya Math, first question they will ask, not "What's your name?" but "Who's your Guru?" First question. Not "What's your name?" Who's your Guru? And when you are asked about your Guru, it's offensive to say such and such Maharaj. No. You say, "Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Astotra Sata Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj," for example. Otherwise, Gurudev was teaching it's an offense. So you have to very reverentially utter the name of your master, because chaste wife will never say, the name of her master loudly or like this, neglectfully, always with great adhar, great respect, like this. It's a sanctum sanctorum, it's sacred most. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entrusted Swarup Damodara to the care of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami took care of Swarup Damodar, so he became as known as Swarupera Raghu. So there were some more Raghus, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and someone else. So Swarupera Raghu was the name of Swarup Damodar Goswami. And while living in Jagannath Puri for the first period of time, then Sri Raghunath Das Goswami was organizing some feasts for Vaishnavas because he still had some money from home. Somebody was sending him. And I said, no, I cannot accept any money from home anymore. So he went begging. He became Nishkinchana, not even touching any money, but only some bhog. For some bhog, they were giving him some rice, dal, something. And he was standing at the entrance of Jagannath Puri temple, Jagannath Mandir, at Simhadwara. Simhadwara means lion gate, the entrance. And somebody was giving him something, but then he started thinking, no, my behavior is just like that of a prostitute. Oh, that person is rich, he will give me something. That person, will pay me something like this. No, I have to give that up. So he gave that up, and he went to a ditch where there was some rejected rice. The rice had been stored there for cows. Cows, they eat rice also. They can eat anything but rice. And sometimes, there's so much rice, 54 preparations every day in Jagannath temple, you can imagine. So sometimes rice is not consumed. So, okay, it's now given to cows. And that rice, which hadn't been touched by cows even, that rice, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was taking from the ditch, washing it, and then taking. So thus he was supporting his life. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to learn that, he immediately rushed there. And he wanted to taste that rice. But Raghunath Das stopped him. Please don't do it like this. He was very, very eager. Why? How about me? Not giving me. So he wanted to taste that. So very, very happily Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took that news and he gave all mercy to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Pad. So upon departure of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, disappearance of Sri Swarup Damodara, Gadadhar Pandit, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami could not really stay. He could not stay in Jagannath Puri. Everything was just void for him. So therefore he left Jagannath Puri. He went to Vrindavan because that was actually also order of Mahaprabhu. So he joined Rupa and Sanatana. Sri Rupa and Sanatana were still there on the planet, but still he was in great separation from Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodara, and Gadadhar Pandit. So he decided to jump from Govardhan, from Giriraj Govardhan. Imagine how high Giriraj Govardhan was then. This huge mountain. Giriraj means the king of all mountains. So it said that its shadow was reaching Mathura. So tall, like 15 kilometers distance. So tall Giriraj was. So Raghunath Das Goswami wanted to jump from Giriraj, but then Sanatana Goswami saved him. He said, don't do that. Because I also wanted to do that once. Sanatana Goswami once came to Jagannath Puri to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and on the way he took some water which was dirty. So he developed some skin disease, like a type of, not jaundice, but some boils, yeah, but not leprosy, but something like that. So his skin was afflicted by boils, etc. Some pus was there, blood. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him anyway by force. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 8 feet tall, very mighty arms, so Sanatana couldn't do anything. But Mahaprabhu already touched his body, and drops of pus and blood had come into the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sanatana Goswami was very, very morose. He said, no, I'm not going to tolerate that. He was ready to commit suicide by jumping under the chariot of Jagannath's chariot at Rath Yatra. But Mahaprabhu stopped him. He said, don't forget that you belong to me. Your body is not your property. You cannot do what you like with your body. It's my property. So don't try to manage another person's property, especially your master's property. Don't try to do what you like with your master's property. He said, if I could achieve perfection by jumping under the chariot of Jagannath, I would have done it many, many, many times. So it's not the way for perfection. So please stop. So Sanatana Goswami gave that an example for Raghunath Das Goswami. Please don't do that. So Raghunath Das Goswami stayed. So I think I was mentioning before, Rupa and Sanatana were going here and there. They were having bhajan kutirs in different places. But Sri Raghunath Das Goswami was staying one pointedly only at the banks of Radhakund. At the banks of Radhakund was his place. So, перевода на русский не будет. Русские лекции начнутся с послезавтрашнего дня. Okay. Said to the Russians who understands English, you come from. Somehow or other, all Russians came. Why? So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was staying at Radhakund. And he was one pointedly performing bhajan, meditating on the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. And Srimati Radhika once came in person. That was very, very hot day. Raghunath Das Goswami was suffering because of the heat. And Srimati Radhika came and held a piece of cloth over his head. Some village girl was holding a piece of cloth over Raghunath Das Goswami's head. On another occasion, a tiger came to drink some water from Radhakund. The tiger is very ferocious. All people immediately fled, but Raghunath Das Goswami didn't even notice the tiger. And the tiger also ignored Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Didn't even notice. So, on another occasion, one gentleman came from Badrinarayan, from the north. At Badrinarayan, he was worshipping Lord Shiva, and he wanted to give him a big donation. But Shiva came to his meditation and said, no, I don't accept. You please go to Radhakunda in Vraj, and you give Haribol, and you give that preparation, that donation to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. That's a great, great saint. So you please go to him. So that great rich man came to Radhakund and he said that, oh, Lord Shiva told me in a dream, please give it to Raghunath Das Goswami. No, I don't accept. No, but Shivaji himself told me in Badrinath, please give it to Raghunath Das Goswami. Then Raghunath Das Goswami pondered for a moment and he said, okay, so if you want, you can arrange for ghat, for steps made of nice stone for Radhakunda and Shyamakunda. Yes. So Radhika is a very straight girl, very honest, straightforward. So therefore Kunda has a square shape. But Krishna is very crooked, you know. He's crooked in three places. Here, and here. Yes. So therefore his Kunda is also like this, having such a shape. In Vrindavan also you can notice all streets are very crooked, very intricate. Some unexpected turns and coils and so many things. So even the trees of Vrindavan are like this because they are experiencing so much prema. So therefore when that rich man was building those steps, he noticed some trees, 5 trees, growing on the bank of Shyamakund, Krishna's lake. And they wanted to cut those trees, but those trees came in a dream, I think, to Raghunath Das Goswami, and they said, we are 5 Pandavas, we are performing bhajan here at Shyamakunda, please don't cut us. Please don't deprive us of that opportunity. So, okay, they left Kunda as it is, and Kunda became more crooked, like this. So, still now you can see those trees departed, but you can see that Kunda is still that shape. So, that's the highest place in the three worlds, and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was so much devoted to Srimati Radhika, and he was worshipping her lotus feet there, always meditating and writing Vilapa Kusumanjali, his amazing masterpiece. So he couldn't even hear about Radhika's that rival, Chandravali. He couldn't even hear about Chandravali's name. But Brijbasis liked him, and he had one friend whose name was Das, just Das somehow his name was. So that Das brought some chach, some sour milk for Sri Raghunath Das Goswami to take. Oh, where did you bring that milk from? The chach from, Raghunath Das Goswami asked. Oh, I brought it from Sakistali. Sakistali is the place of Chandravali. It's just down Govardhan Parikrama, one turning. We never go there. Because Raghunath Das Goswami had never been going there. So then the friend said, from Sakistali. Immediately after Raghunath Das Goswami heard the name Sakistali, he took a stick and wanted to beat that so-called friend. So immediately fled, when his ankles were just blinking, like this, so fast. So Raghunath Das Goswami was deliberately trying to beat him, give him a good beating, because Srimati Radhika's rival cannot tolerate Radhika's maidservants, and those who are in her line cannot tolerate the mood, the sound even of the main rival of Radhika, Chandravali. So when Krishna comes to Srimati Radhika after visiting Chandravali's Kunj, he half jokingly is saying, "Oh Chandra," Radhika immediately, "What? I just wanted to say that your face is like the moon," Chandra saying some other word, but Radhika is like immediately furious because the name of her rival is there. So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was writing his transcendental literatures there, Vilapa Kusumanjali, the sorrowful offering of the kusuma leaves, kusuma flowers. So in the first three verses, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is meditating from the point of view of his Swarup. He's not in Sadhakarup, he's in Swarup, in his form as Sri Rupa Manjari. In the first three verses, beginning from the first, Tvam Rupa Manjari Saki Pratita Puresmin Pumsa Parasya Vadanam Nahi Pashyasiti Bimbadarekshata Managata Bhartrikaya Te Vidayaki Mutachchuka Pungavena. O Rupa Manjari, in the whole village of Raj, you are known as most chaste lady. Your husband had gone far away, but still I can see that your lips had been bitten by someone. Oh, could it be that the best of parrots has done that? Who is the best of parrots? So, Sri Krishna and Radhika were exhibiting their pastimes, and Radhika had been drinking the nectar of Krishna's lips. And those marks as stigmas immediately manifested on the lips of Rupa Manjari. So, although formerly she was so chaste to her husband and everything, but that what manifested. So she, Raghunath Das Goswami, saw that in Sri Rupa Manjari's character, and he is writing that from the point of view of his beloved Saki and also Shiksha Guru. So then in the second verse, he is saying, Stalakamalini yuktam garvita kananesmin pranayasi varahasyam pushpa guccha chalena apinikilatatasta saurabhakta samuchan mrigayati tava margam Krishna bringo yadadya. O Sthalaka Malini, land lotus, means Shrimati Radhika. That's for his Ishta Devi, for her. It's Rupa Manjari. For her, Ishta Devi means Shrimati Radhika. It is fitting that you are laughing very proudly through your flower bunches, since, though all the flowers in the forest are anointed with fragrance, the black bee Krishna leaves them now to search for you only. So Shrimati Rupa Manjari is saying that actually, and Rati Manjari is repeating. And the third verse is also pronounced by Rupa Manjari. It's a wonderful verse. The Sakhis, gopis, arranged for the seat for Shishirada and Krishna. But that time, they arranged in a different way. Not for Krishna, they arranged the asana for Krishna not by the side of Radhika, but at the feet of Radhika. And Krishna was very pleased. Because in Vrindavan and Sevakunj, Krishna becomes Das. Krishna becomes the faithful servant of Radha. So they arranged for a place for Krishna to sit. And Krishna sat there and was very, very happy. And then, even before that, they played a trick. Radhika played a trick. She left with her Lalita, Vishaka and others, and Krishna was left alone. Only Manjaris were there. So it doesn't say what was next, because Krishna always wants to meet them. So we cannot tell if that meeting. But anyway, they escaped. They don't want to meet with Krishna alone. So anyway, Krishna was feeling alone, and he started searching for his beloved, and he went to see Shrimati Radhika. Finally, found her, and then he took a seat at her lotus feet. And then Radhika told all of her maidservants, the Manjaris, you start dancing, and start joking with Krishna for Krishna's pleasure. You know, it's a mistake to think that Krishna is not significant. Everything is for Shrimati Radhika, Radhe Radhe Radhe, and Krishna is just a black cheater and not significant. No, it's a great, great, great blunder, actually offense, because their life is Krishna. Radhika is called Krishna because everything she does for Krishna, she is thinking of Krishna. She takes black color also, darkish complexion, for Krishna. And therefore she engaged all the others in that situation, all the gopis, to dance for Krishna. So they started dancing. And when the dance finished, they were resting for some time. But then at that time, Radhika noticed, Lalita and Vishaka noticed also that some nupur is missing, Radhika's ankle bell is missing. And then Rati Manjari, that is Raghunath Das Goswami, her second name is Tulsi Manjari, said, I will go to pick up some flowers. Actually, she went to pick up that nupur because she had also noticed, and she came and she attached that nupur with her own hands to the lotus feet of Krishna. So Rupa Manjari became very, very, very happy. Rupa Manjari became very, very happy. Radhika also became very, very happy. And Rupa Manjari said this phrase, Raghunath Das Goswami reproduced. That phrase, that verse number 3, Vilapa Kusumanjali, actually glorifies Rati Manjari. But how could Raghunath Das Goswami glorify himself? That's why he just repeated the words of his immediate teacher, Sri Rupa Manjari, what Rupa Manjari said. And Rupa Manjari said, Prajandra vasati stale vividha ballavi sankule tvamevarati manjari prachura punya punjadaya vilasabara vismrita pranayame kala margane yadadya nijanathaya rajasi natita kandaram orati manjari. You're the most fortunate cowherd girl in the abode of the king of Raj. When your mistress, Shrimati Radhika, forgets her beloved sash of bells due to absorption of her love play, she asks you to fetch it from the cave where she left it. And there's one wonderful verse 71 I want to discuss now. 72, yes. Sri Rupa Manjari Kararchita Pada Padma Goshtendra Nandana Bhujalpita Mastakaya Hamodata Kanaka Gauri Padaravinda Sambahanani Shanakaistava Kim Karishya. O Kanaka Gauri, O golden complexion girl, when you're laying with your head in Krishna's lap and your feet in the lap of Rupa Manjari, and when she is massaging your feet, will Rupa Manjari, with the corners of her eyes, give me Mahaprasadam Seva of gently massaging your feet while she is fanning you. So she, Rati Manjari, here in the body of a sadhaka, Rati Manjari, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, is begging for spiritual master, for Sri Rupa Goswami, oh please give me that seva. So the other verses are written from the point of view of sadhaka, sadhaka Rupa. So it's like Raghunath Das Goswami, but anyway he's meditating on Rupa Manjari and her mercy, not just reproducing her words like in number 3, but he's saying, he's begging for that seva, like this, filled with separation. Raghunath Das Goswami was residing at Radha Kund. Asha Bhararamrita Sindhu Maya Kathanchit Kalo Mayati Gamita Kila Sampratam Hi Tvam Chet Kripam Mayi Vidhasya Sidnava Kimme Pranair Vrajam Chavaroru Bakari Napi. O Varoro, girl with beautiful thighs, it is decidedly only with the hope of obtaining the nectarine ocean of service unto you and the vision of your transcendental pastimes that have been able to maintain my life thus far with severe difficulty. But if you are not merciful unto me even now, then of what use to me in this life, residence in Vrajadham, or even Krishna himself, Bakari, the killer of Bakasur? Krishna killed Bakasur. Bakasur, the crane demon symbolizing duplicity, kutinati. But still, the sadhakas meditate on Bakari Krishna, but for Raghunath Das Goswami, no use. Why meditate on Krishna? Only Srimati Radhika. That's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing, I hate to see Srimati Radhika suffer in separation from Krishna. I hate to see. Viraha. What's that? Shri Krishna Viraha. Why should I meditate on the suffering of Srimati Radhika? No. Let Krishna suffer in separation. That's why they sometimes cheat him, like they left him alone, and went like this. They're making jokes. Let Krishna suffer in separation. Why Radhika should suffer? But ultimately they're doing everything for Krishna's pleasure. That body, mind, and words, the gopis are giving for Krishna's pleasure wholeheartedly. They're singing about that in Venugit and Gopi Git everywhere. But here, the one-pointed devotion to the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika is exemplified in these verses, in that poetry by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. So, in Krishna Rasa, there are two, divisions. Sambandhatmika Bhakti and Kamatmika. Sambandhatmika is the property of those devotees in Sakya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, Dasya Rasa. Sambandha, everything is based upon Sambandha, the relationship. But in the Kamatmika, everything is based on Kama. Kama means transcendental love, lust, transcendental lust. And Kamatmika also has two parts, Sambhoga Ichamai and Tat-Tat-Bhava Ichamai. So Sambhoga Ichamai is the mood of the Yuteshwaris, like leaders of the groups, like Lalita, Vishaka, etc. They are heroines, and they also meet with Krishna independently. Like once Narada wanted to see Lalita and Krishna on the swing, and Lalita Krishna ki jai ho, Narada started singing it, Lalita Kund, and Radhika came to know and fell into great man, etc. like this. So they can meet with Krishna, but never Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari, never. Always fully dedicated to the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. So, in the mood of sadhaka, Sri Rghunatha Goswami is praying very, very hard. Please give me mercy, give me mercy, give me mercy, like this. To your lotus feet. Also, when he was in separation from his master Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodara and Gadadhar Pandit, when he was in Vraj, he was so much in separation. Shunyayati Mahagoshtam Girindra Jagarayati Vyagratandayati Kundam Jivatura Hitasyame. In separation from Sri Rupa, the sole sustainer of my life, Vrajamada, after Rupa Goswami disappeared, he wrote this. In separation with Sri Rupa, the sole maintainer of my life, Vrajamandala appears as if void. Giraj Govardhan like a python, open mouth of a python, and Radhakunda is a gaping mouth of a ferocious tigress. Vyagra Tumkunda. So that is the mode of separation they were immersed in. So we are aspiring specks of dust at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Raghunatha. That mood is our mood. And whatever we do, whatever we think of, we're always meditating at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Manjari. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mor Sampada Se Mor Bhajana Pujana. That great, great song is like our hymn. I'm very, very grateful to devotees of UK, all devotees, especially those who organized this tour, specifically Madhurika from Wales, Purushottam from Watford, many other devotees, devotees in London, devotees in Hastings, Asim Prabhu Yamuna Didi, our dear hosts in Crawley Down, Parang Krishna Prabhu Lavanya Maya Didi, and also Krishna Das from London, and those devotees who accepted us everywhere, and Harish Balu, the owner of the restaurant of Halu Balu in London. So great thanks for everyone. Great thanks for devotees, for those who came to a nice, amazing program in Chester, 31st of May. It's an amazing program. It's a new place of preaching. So all the best. Please cooperate. I know you can cooperate nicely. I know you can cooperate nicely. So we have to be together. Srila Gurudev was teaching, our beloved guardians are teaching. So please come visit us in Vrindavan, definitely. It's an amazing place, Krishna Balaram Mandir. Very wonderful Harikatha during Kartik and every day devotional association, where the conception of Srila Rupa and Raghunatha is cultivated like breath. They're breathing that. They're breathing, relishing, and giving, disseminating. Srila Gurudev was teaching, preaching is belching of bhajan. So your bhajan is tasty, that's why you give some sound, Bengali sound, means very tasty, and the aroma is spread at once. Everybody is attracted, and that's total haribol. So everybody should be happy. Sri Rupa Manjari ki jai, Sri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai, Sri Rati Manjari ki jai, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami Pad ki jai, Sri Rupa Nuga Gaudiya Gaur Varga ki jai, Paramaraditam Guru Pad Padma ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Also, if you have any questions, most welcome. The subject was very deep. I wasn't expecting actually to, but somehow or other it came after yesterday's. You were so much, how to say, diligently hearing and drinking. It was an extra of those pastimes. I'm very imperfect. I'm just a postman. But anyway, we can meet. And my job is to engage the public and play the role of, DJ, let us say. So I play something, then the choir sings together, and then we can dance and sing together. And so, yes. So can introduce something, then Can can invite, introduce, inspire, engage, like this. That's how I was saying. What's the role of a marionette? To show something, to point. Look, there, look, come. Haribo, okay, Haribo. You feel like Haribo? Yes. You like initial Haribo, the great Haribo, the bona fide Haribo. Yes. Okay, come with me. So it's like more like recruiting role. And okay, we're very happy that some new devotees came, that they started chanting, and the process will be continuing definitely. So if you have any questions, most welcome to ask. Yes, Radha Mohan Prabhu.
I have a question about Bapu and Vani.
Mm-hmm.
So, Guru that Vani is considered to be superior to Bapu.
Mm.
But Bapu is also important.
Yes.
I know from Istanbul so much emphasis on Vani.
Mm.
Our Prabhupada is still with us through Vani.
Mm.
So we don't need any other Bapu.
Mm.
Because Prabhupada is actually with us with his books. We don't need any instructions.
Mm.
So what would you say about that?
Well, that sounds like Ritvik philosophy, because Ritvik Vada means, well, that Acharya is with us through our Vani, and that's basically Ritvikism. So we can say about any Acharya, like Sri Rupa Goswami, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Srila Bhaktivinoda, take his books and go to the masses. We are representing Sri Rupa Goswami. His books say everything. You read and you hear from us, because we've read and we can retell. So the question, simple question comes, where is the Sangha? What is Sangha? The meaning of the word. Can you tell? Samyak Rupena Anugaman. Samyak Rupena means completely. Anugaman means to follow. What is completely follow? Means to follow the mood. How will you follow the mood of a person you never met? And those people who say, okay, we're not gurus, or we're just representatives, so when we put you in touch with the guru, who is not on the planet right now, are Ritviks. There must be guru. Guru means Tasmat Gurun, you know this verse. Tasmat Gurun Prapadyata Chikya Sushre Uttamam Shabde Parichanishnatam Brahmanipashamasha. 3 qualifications of Guru. 2 external, 1 internal. External qualifications, he must be knowledgeable. Jnana means he has to be able to give insight of the Shastra, has to be able to uproot all non-devotional conceptions, has to be able to relish himself and give all the conclusions of bhakti, and also clear all doubts. And vairagya. Vairagya means has to be renounced. But these are 2 external qualities. So he doesn't want any money, he doesn't want any following. Nadanam najanamna sundarim, all those things he's doing. Kamini kanaka pratishtava, all those things he's doing. But most significantly, parecha nishnatam, parecha nishnatam, realization of paratattva. So those people who are saying, okay, we'll put you in touch with Prabhupada because he has the realization level. We don't have this. Humbly, okay, we're humble servants. But that is Ritvikavada, understand? You have to take to a guru who is in this world. Gurudev didn't used to like this living guru phrase, living guru. Guru is never dead, that's true. But he has to be present. Understand? You cannot get suntan from the sun which is on the TV screen. Very nice sun. Let's have a video. Watch it. Very nice. And then light down. Light down. Or anyway, some ultraviolet. What's it? Ultraviolet? Yes, violet rays. But it's not the same. You can go to a solarium, but you won't get the same. So everything comes from the sadhu who is on this planet. Sadhu, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. That's it. It's simple as that. Many devotees are suffering because they don't know. They don't. They were taught like this, and they accept. Okay, it's like becomes like a church. A church where Jesus is there, crucified, and all those things are doing whatever they like. Vatican, Hare Krishna. I don't know what they do, but the fact is that Christianity initially was something else. Let us say, and that's true. I'm not misleading if I say that. So in that same way, there's one point called Vicharadhara. Vicharadhara, the flow of conceptions. Vicharadhara, like Ganga. Ganga in Gangotri, Yamunotri looks like very, very, very turbulent. Yamunotri is different. Anyway, then in in Haridwar, already more peaceful, silent. And then in Prayag, very broad and completely different looks. In Mayapur, has different names, Bhagirathi, Alakananda, Jalangi, different streams. But same Ganga anyway, same Ganga. So Sri Guru may look differently. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj preaching a bit different. Srila Gurudev preaching a bit different. Srila Gorgovinda Maharaj even, although he's direct disciple. Still different angles, you see. Tactics, different. Pujapat Madhusudan Maharaj, still a bit, you see. But the flow is the same, you can understand. Ganga may look a bit different. Turbulent in the upper places, silent, peaceful in the medium, and how to say, making coils and turns, changing names, colors, the delta area. So there's the same Ganga, have to understand. And the people who are like short-sighted, they don't use glasses. And without glasses, they're thinking they can see everything. Only meditating on the external qualities. How is it possible to see everything just meditating on external qualities? They're just sentimental. They don't know. It is the same message everywhere. Also, what is most significant, and they don't see, is that association, Sangha, with the sadhu present now on earth brings what? It brings the inspiration for Svarupa to be disclosed, to develop. Svarupa Anubandhi becomes active. You feel this is my home. You feel this is like when I came to Krishna Balaram, okay, live example, I was talking to Raghunath Prabhu this morning in Sarika. When I just came to Krishna Balaram, after Gurudev's departure, okay, 2011 end. In 2012, first time I came, I stayed. I listened to Katha. One of the first Harikathas I listened was about like general Shuddha Bhakti, etc. But I'm sitting next to Maharaj, and Maharaj, when Katha is going on of such caliber, your bhajan is being corrected. Like he sees everyone. Like Shukadev Goswami, Sarva Bhuta Hridayam Manimana Tosmi. You remember. Being present in every heart. He's present in every heart. So in every heart, he is the witness what's going on. That's why he's speaking, and the audiences say, oh, he's speaking for me. No, he's speaking for me. Another one saying, no, he's speaking for me. Because the situations are different, and the devotees are just receiving the message pertaining to the Swarup directly. So then, he's saying, when you come to a place where you can feel, oh, this is my home, definitely it pertains to the internal tendency of your Swarupa. I was shocked. These are my thoughts. I'm feeling that's my home. And I'm feeling my Swarupa Nubandhi is being nurtured. So non-theoretical knowledge will do for that. Especially if it's not even Nama Abbas. Because if it's Sadhu Ninda, this is offense number 1 to the holy name. So what are we speaking about? What kind of spiritual authority they will lead you to? What do they know about that Acharya? What do they know? The deviation is there, like in basics there's deviation, like severe deviation. No necessity of living. Present Acharya of such a caliber. So I cannot say more on camera, actually. It's a quite delicate, yeah, delicate subject, but anyway, I had to answer those things. Any more questions, Ananta Prabhu?
Vrindavan, when they doing Chaitanya Lila, Rupa Goswami was under his brother Sanatan Goswami is single.
Yeah.
But in Krishna Lila, when they are in this Rupa, who is how to
Srila Rupa Manjari is the leader of all the Manjaris of Radhika. Lavanga Manjari, Sanatana Goswami's spiritual form, also has a significant role. But Sri Rupa Goswami, see, we're still Rupanuga, not Sanatanugas, although Sanatana is there. We're Rupanuga, specifically the path of Rupa and Raghunatha. Sri Rupa Goswami Rasacharya, Sri Sanatana Goswami is more like Prayojana Acharya, and his Vairagya especially very, very special, yes. But anyway, though. But Srila Rupa Goswami, his conception, you see, he churned the ocean. He's the author of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He is the author of Ujjvala Nilamani. He is the author of what's that? Lagu Bhagavatamritam. Those books. Also, many poetical books. Anyways, his conception is main for us. That's why we go to him. And Rghunatha Das Goswami, and the hymn Sanatana was by his side, and he was actually under Sanatan. Yeah, but still, he's like the Upendra. Upendra is the name of Vamana. He was the junior brother of Indra. Yeah, but junior brother, but Vamana Dev Bhagavan. Upendra means junior brother of Indra, still. So Rupa is a junior brother of Sanatan. Chota Baba is small Baba. Sanatan Goswami, Bada Baba. But still we're under Srila Rupa Goswami. Although he was Chota Baba, still we're under him like this. So Vamana Dev is Bhagavan, although he's junior brother of Indra like this. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe. So, okay.
following on from my question, I wanted to ask about taking them up on the definitely Dr. Rupa Goswami and then Sanatana Goswami as well.
Yeah.
How do you understand those two sets of teaching? Because they went together in separate.
Well, Sanatana Goswami's Shiksha, Sanatana Shiksha is also very significant. And it takes even more chapters, like 5-6 chapters, and Rupa Shiksha takes 1 chapter. But Srila Sanatana Goswami explained all that in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And that's also a universal book, especially concerning Bhakti line, Bhakti path. But Rupa Goswami's teachings, I would say, they were more like central, like more universal. They were considering all points, all path of sadhana, the methodology of sadhana. Srila Sanatana Goswami explained the path of devotion, the gradation of devotees, which is very significant. That's his unique input in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, starting from Prahlad and finishing the gopis of Raj, and also Sakama Bhakta Dhruva, also is mentioned there. But Srila Rupa Goswami's teachings were like more central, naturally more universal, naturally more overwhelming. And from Srila Rupa Goswami's teachings, others, like especially Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, there was, they were pushing from, they were coming from there. And the other another incarnation of Srila Rupa Goswami, they said like this, actually 2 different divas, was Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So they're like Tadatma, so much together. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in modern age, after 250 years after 18th century, 150 years after Rupa Goswami was. So 150 years more was Srila Bhaktivinoda. So Srila Gurudev also said that we should not consider Srila Bhaktivinoda even less than Srila Rupa Goswami. not a iota, or iota less than Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Bhaktivinoda. So that's why that line comes from Srila Rupa Goswami. It is like it is. I know there are some nice planets with green sky, but in this planet it's blue, except pink like on Mars, But so we have to accept Rupa means Rupa. But formally, well, I try to explain.
In the beginning, you were talking about the importance of being fixed on our goal. But this you're talking about Swarup Siddhi, or you're talking about Krishna Prema?
Krishna Prema. Well, the Swarup Siddhi is the beginning of Krishna Prema. Prema Suryamsha Samyabhak, the formula of Bhava. What is that? We're discussing something about Bhava, its symptoms this morning, but the formula of Bhava. What do you say? Prema Suryamsha Samyabhak. Yes. Ruchi Bishchitra Matsrinya, Kridaso Bhava. Shuddha Sattva Vishesha Atma, Prema Suryamsha Samyabhak, Ruchi Bishchitra Matsrinya, Kridaso Bhava Uchyate. So also, ending the answer to your question, Srila Rupa Goswami's book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is Paribhasa Shastra, means the book of definitions, like a textbook. So it's like more concentrated. Brihad Bhagavatam, very, how to say, universal also, like encyclopedia. But first people are still addressed to Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, I think so. Those who want to study Bhakti. Also, certainly Brihad Bhagavatam, but I think first goes to. Yeah, so what is Bhava? Bhava is described there. Prema Surya. Shuddha Sattva Vishesha Atma means the specific manifestation of Shuddha Sattva, one first ray of Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva, understand the transcendental existence, pure existence. Shuddha Sattva. Sattva means existence, Shuddha means pure. So that is the atmosphere of spiritual world, Shuddha Sattva. Vishesha Atma means very significant, specific ray. Vishesha Atma. Prema Suryamsha Samyabhak. So that is Prema Suryamsha, of the sun of Prema Suryamsha, manifestation, like this is spark, or ray. Ruchibish Chitra Matsrinya. So immediately your heart melts with variety of tastes. Kridaso Bhava Uchita, that is Bhava. So at that time you understand who you are. And at that time Guru gives you Ekadashi Bhava, means the instructions on your specific form. 11 Ekadashi, 11 pieces of transcendental information about your form, about your village, about your parents, about your group, about your service, directly your outfit, how you look like, everything. Then Guru says, you understand your Swarup. So then you have to cultivate. Then you take birth from the womb of the Gopi, some Gopi, on the planet, like Earth, where Krishna comes with his associates. Then the Gopis come also. So you associate with Lalita, Vishaka, and the other Gopis, and you get trained in your Prema Seva already, Prema Seva, so you get trained. Then you practice Prema and separation. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? You cry and cry and cry. Those Vaishnavas who Bhavaka, they go into separation and they cry, Ha, Vrajadevi, Kecha, Lalite, Nanda Suna, in the Sat Goswami Ashtakam, it said it. They were crying, where is Krishna? Prabhupada Swami Maharaj was saying, they were not saying, I saw Krishna. No. Say, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? It's called Prema and separation. Prema and separation.
Like, I have no, other than hearing these things, I have no real conception of this and Krishna Prema and this thing. So how can we be fixed on this goal?
Oh, just study Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Bindu. Easy. Study shlokas that was telling you all the time. Purushottam. Study shlokas. How to be fixed. How, the Mao Zedong said, in order to swim, you have to swim. You want to swim, so swim. Well, I can't. Well, father, mother will help, no problem. Instructors will help you. You'll learn how to swim. So study Siddhanta. All of us have to preach, Gurudev said many times. Preach. Those who don't preach, not my disciples. He was saying like this. In order to preach, study Siddhanta. You know, we sometimes neglect. Oh, bhajan, bhajan, bhajan. Okay, Vrindavan, bhajan, bhajan. Coming here, bhojan, bhojan. You know, this eating, sleeping. Yeah. So we come here, then have to be preaching, because the method of practice, Hare Krishna practice, in the West is only through preaching. Yes. Once Gurudev was in darshan in a room somewhere, Holland, I think, 2001, something. It's a group of devotees. One devotee was nice preacher, was sitting next to Gurudev. Gurudev was talking to one disciple from somewhere, like Europe, somewhere. He lives in somewhere, France even. Are you preaching? No, no. He looks at the devotees. Be like him. He's preaching like this. So Gurudev was like exemplifying. Because thus you can cultivate siddhanta. Because you don't preach, you don't know. When I started teaching English, well, before all these things, well, I knew English kind of, university, this, that, special school with English. But when I started actually teaching English, then I learned. Then I went to England, lived in the temple, was preaching in the temple, blah, 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 all those things. And I really learned. When I started teaching, then I learned grammar. So when you start preaching, then you learn Siddhanta, no problem. Because some guy at the street will defeat you one time in personage. Then you take to the books. Come on, what is that? How to defeat Mayavadi? Okay, well, you go for it. So you start. Yes. So you should be efficient. If you don't do them, you're quite adequate, all of you. You have just to start activity. There's no activity. If there's no activity, then you watch the screen, and the screen is the world government. They're making us sleep. They can do whatever they want with us, like sheep. Come here. We just were in Wales, and there are many sheep there. So the sheep are basically gazing at you. They're the gazers, So, yeah. So the owners can do anything then. They're very, how to say, so much afraid, So much afraid also, one thing. So either we don't run away, so we don't manage to run away, then they do anything with us. Cut our throats, no problem. We can start be, that doesn't help. But instead of be, we have to Hare Krishna, understand? Then everything will go fine. Otherwise, we're just victims of the system. Yeah. So many people don't like the system, but they have no positive ideas. We have so much positivity in our essence, so much. So just share it. People are dying, people going crazy, people go on drugs, people go kill each other, Just give them Krishna. That's it. Like Pujapat Madhusudan Maharaj, You think you will eat your chapatis and that's it, You don't want to share with your neighbor chapatis, no? I'm sitting eating chapatis in the temple. Very nice. People are dying, your neighbor going crazy, Neighbor, because of your seclusion, your neighbor didn't even say the word Krishna one name. Because you never talk about, Krishna, India, something like this. You don't even say. You don't ever know his name, guy's name. People live like this. Say, hello, how are you? It's just a drama play. You say Hare Krishna, if you say like this, come with tilak, then he says, what is that? You say, that is Krishna. Okay, it's different. Makes difference. Krishna makes difference. That's it. So start from that. And then, then Siddhanta will come. Then you learn the shlok, labdva sudurlabham. Then you come to the guy next time. And you're not to make him afraid of Sanskrit, but you will say in English the meaning of that verse. Labdva sudurlabhamedam bhavasannavanti manusyamartadamanitim apishadira turnametatanapatetanamriti yavat niksheshaya vishayakul sarvasad. Like this. Wow, having obtained human form of life, which is so rare and so perishable, so quickly it goes. You have to immediately start the path of bhajan. Otherwise, sense enjoyment is available in any form of life. This advanced body, human body, you engage in such primitive eating, sleeping, mating, defending, forgetting about dharma, dharma vritti. how to say, unique form of activity available for the human life. So that's it. Have to be preaching. That's the essence. Rady, rady. Okay, 4 o'clock. 4:05. Okay. Ostatnie pytanie. Shri Rady. Gaur Premanande. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Okay. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada will sing. Please open. Lavanya Mridang. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Sei mora sampada.
Sri Rupa Manjari Pada.
Sei mora sampada. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Sei mora sampada. Sri Rupa
Manjari Pada. Sei mora sampada.
Sei mora bhajana pujana. Sei mora bhajana pujana. Sei mora bhajana pujana. Sei mora bhajana pujana. Sei mora pranadhana. Sei mora abharana. Sei mora pranadhana. Sei mora abharana. Sei mora jivera jivana. Sei mora jiva nirjivana. Sei mora rasanidhi. Sei mora vanchasiddhi. Sei mora rasanidhi. Sei mora vanchasiddhi. Sei mora vedheradharama. Sei mora sei vrata sei tapa. Sei mora mantra japa. Sei vrata sei tapa. Sei mora mantra japa. Sei mora dharma karama. Sei mora dharma karama. Anukula habe vidhi. Se pade hoibe siddhi. Anukula habe vidhi. Se pade hoibe siddhi. Nirakibo eduri nayane. Nirakibo Se Rupa Madhuri Rashi. Prana Kuvalaya Shashi. Se Rupa Madhuri Rashi. Prana Kuvalaya Shashi. Prapulita Ave Nishidine. Prapulita Ave Nishidine. darshana hi karale jaralo dehi tuvaha darshana karale jaralo dehi chiradina tapita jivana chiradina tapita jivana aha prabhu karo daya deha more pada chaya aha prabhu karo daya Narottama loilo sharana Narottama loilo sharana Sri Rupa manjari pada Sei mora sampada Sri Rupa manjari Sei mora bhajana pujana Sei mora bhajana pujana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Hari Bo Nitai Gora Gaur Premanande, Jai Gaur Premanande, Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Sri Rupa Raghunath Goswami Pada ki jai, Sri Sachinandan Gaura Hari ki jai, Sri Rupanuga Guri Guru Varga ki jai, Paramaraditam Guru Padma ki jai, Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bo.
Shripa Bhaktivedanta Sadhu Maharaj ki
All glories to all the devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha prasannavyacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namah. Thank you so much. We really don't want to leave you, but time. Hare Krishna. See you again.